And since Roguescaper, how about since you pronounced the name of this certain VC unit correctly, how about you read?
Well, how do you know it's correct?
Because we were talking about it backstage. So I was mentioning my.
All right, then how is it pronounced? Go ahead.
Yeah,
it's Zaeus after
Zaeus. All right.
Planet of the Apes. Dr. Zaeus, you know, like.
Okay.
Yeah. They made a whole musical about it, The Simpsons, but.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is that from Planet of the Apes? Dr. Zaeus?
Yeah.
Yeah, and here, hold on a second. I know this isn't going to work for anybody who's listening on Spotify, but yeah, I was able to actually get the miniature there for that. So yeah, that's a interesting thing. But yeah, go ahead, Roguescaper. Read away.
Read its power. So we got a Primadon scientist. He's inspiring, a medium 5, a very big medium 5 man. Yeah. Interject. His name is Zaeus. His Gorillinator attack bonding. I'll read the stats real fast first. We have this move 5, attack 4, defense 4, range 1, and 130 points. I don't know what he is, Delta. Attack bonding is after revealing an order marker on Zaeus. You may take a turn with a squad of Gorillinators you control before taking a turn with Zaeus. These Gorillinators cannot move during this turn. And Railgun special attack, range 7, attack 4. When Zaeus attacks an opponent's figure that is not adjacent with his Railgun special attack, you must choose a figure adjacent to the target figure if possible. If Zaeus inflicts more wounds than needed to destroy the target figure, all excess wounds count as unblockable hits on the target figure.
Or on the chosen figure, yep.
On the chosen figure, yeah.
Yep. So this, well, actually, here, I'm gonna. Let's see where
he has a lot of choices during his turn to make.
It's a very unique bonding option too when it comes to Gorillinators. Now when it comes to like scrolling down and synergies, it's like you have Guerrilla Troopers, which are another VC unit. Cool. We'll have to do later, and Command Courier, which actually I do have those, but the really only classic unit goes with is Gorillinators. So this is a really Gorillinator centric unit to use, although that's not a bad thing.
Not at all.
Because Gorillinators can move. Technically, you don't really, since Gorillinators got their movement and range. You could have an order marker on Gorillinators first turn. They move up. Then have Zaeus, right? Did I say that right? I think I said that right. I'm just gonna call him. Okay, Zaeus. I just calling him Zeus the whole time, but I don't think Hey Zeus would be too big of a thing. But anyway, yeah, Gorillinator attack bonding seems like a fun. A thinking game. Get Gorillinators up, and then you have Zaeus move up too. Gorillinators just start hammering away like they did in the first turn, because you can't move them, but technically you should just already move them up. And then Zaeus has got a railgun special attack, which is pretty impressive. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm just like, okay, I'm getting the miniature. It's just like I have a few squads of Gorillinators. Why not?
I really love the railgun.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Fun ability, especially if you fight against Vipers. But also, you don't need to put an order marker on the Gorillinators at all during this point, because the Nikitas do have the Gorillinator movement bonding. So effectively, with 2 order,
that would make sense.
That's a nice army.
So now it kind of fills in that role, and you don't have to, because Gorillinators are pretty fragile if they get caught in a bad spot. So now you have a bit more versatility when you use this guy.
Although when it comes to Gorillinators, though, I'm just going to say this, like, I've skirmished with them before, and you'd be surprised how long Gorillinators can hang on with the defense dice they have.
7 move, 6 range, 1 auto shield against low attack armies. They will be around for a long time.
Yeah,
get them to height, place them correctly. But this guy gives them a little bit of versatility once they get set up, that he kind of go in and start doing some big damage.
I sometimes forget that the Guerrillinators have range.
That they do. They do. They're pretty fun. Were you saying something, Joe?
I was just looking up right now to see what kind of army builds you can do. So 3 times. This is standard points, by the way. Guerrillinators times 3. Nikita, Aegis, and Zaeus is 520 points with 13 figures. So for those tournament events that are above that 500 board, this is probably a pretty good build there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think the rankings.
Yeah, Guerrillinators are at 90 points. That's high, but that's honestly worth it for their seven move.
Yeah, that's what I think. Guerrillinators don't need to move anymore. That's why Guerrillinator Attack Bounty they don't have movement because they can already go up and they got enough range to be like, here you go, So.
In Delta, the Guerrillinators go down to 75, but Zaeus remains 130. So he seems to be pretty competitively good
solid
at this level. Yeah.
Yeah. And they have them like for rankings here on Heroscape is B, and the common is a potent, if expensive hero in his own right. Zaeus brings the Guerrillinators into play. It really does. It really does well.
Yeah.
So This is
I just switched the point counter. So in Delta points, that 3 times Guerrillinators, Nikita, Agents, and Zaeus is 460 points.
Not bad.
So
not bad.
No, not bad at all. So pretty solid army. 13 figures. You put order markers on Nikitas and Zaeus.
Zaeus is like this against things like Romans, where you have kind of a king unit where those just excess wounds can go. It's pretty much just like really is punishing against whiffs or low kind of defender units like McDurks. If you're fighting against McDurks, they can take out a McDurk and put 2 wounds on their champion.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of versatility for like kind of units that group up with a stronger unit.
Yeah. I mean, how often do you guys roll for a specific power and you're like, oh, I only needed one wound to kill him, but I rolled a 5, so
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And
it's so cool. And the only other figures that do that, they are like the yesterday I was playing against the lumbering bully. No, that's the power. The lumbering, the org pulverizer.
Yeah.
It's harming to himself for his excess shields, but either way, well, it's actually the defender's excess shields. But like having that type of mechanic being twisted in a different direction is such a fun concept. I'd like to see more of that.
It's the beauty of the Heroscape. And skateboard, what do you think would be if you were facing against a Guerrillinator army with this type of unit in play? What do you think would be best to go up against it? I wonder.
For me, I like the running the ninjas.
Mm-hmm.
Or the death to the reavers, the little rat.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can move forward little by little.
Right. Yeah, I think, like a Reaver, like Raylan, Reavers, Raylan. Maybe Q10 against it.
Any high defense squads are not as viable for this thing to go up against.
This is true. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. All right, and Josiah, I think we got lore? Yeah, we got bio. Yeah, I can show it here. Yeah, we have a bit of bio with these. So if you want to read it, go ahead.
From the personal log book of Zaeus, lead researcher and engineer of the Primadon Military Weapons and Tactics Division. Date 2.423. Colonel Laglor came by today. I finally had something flashy to show him, as the ARK-2110 was fully operational. I knew he'd be impressed with the railgun's range and power, even though its components are very intricate, and its massive size requires a full battle suit to wield the firearm effectively. He did not try to hide his disappointment when I told him the cost of outfitting whole squads of Guerrillinators with the weapon, but was, as he said, satisfied with our progress to date. Date 2.565, the newest communication network we designed and installed some days ago, has yielded a major breakthrough. By molding a smaller scale system of the 2-in-2 out feedback module, we can give a single command unit full sight, sound, and real-time data for an entire platoon of soldiers on the same network. The HUD is rather complicated and will require intensive training, but the current prototype battle, now designated the BA-2110Z, has more than enough power to support the new comm system. The current communication hardware the frontline guerrilla squads possess could be easily fully integrated in the new network as well. The new tech put a smile on the colonel's face, but he was still pushing me hard to get the battlesuits to a point where we can deploy them on platoon leaders at the forward positions. While I can't deny this would be a major boost for us, I'm quite certain the full-scale production of these suits is a long way from being ready. Date 2.601. The time for a full field test is here. With the new Morrow offensive, the brass is insisting that we gather all the required data in order to move the BA-2110Zs into mass productions. I keep insisting that the training level for these suits will be far greater than currently predicted, but I fear we are losing ground, and our military leadership is willing to grasp any straws that might turn things around. So I have volunteered to pilot the first combat test of the suit. It's been years since I've seen actual combat, but at this point, I'm the only one alive who understands how this new combat platform can be best utilized. Tomorrow, Colonel Laglor and I go in search of the Morrow Hive Lord, who may hold the key to the power of teleportation.
Interesting thing.
I wonder who that could be.
I don't know. You might have seen him a few times here on this channel. Just a few. You know, might be some animator who really likes doing that teleportation effect, like way too much.
I wonder. I don't know. Does the person that uploads? I don't know if any of you know. I'm sure Jeremy does. Yeah. The person that uploads the all this information, the book itself. Are they in charge of writing the bio? Are they just copying and pasting everything, and they're doing organizing all the information?
From what I remember Jeremy saying, these bios were created mostly by just the design team, the VC design team that were making them. Some would add bios, you know, to some, and others they wanted. It just depend on who was designing it and who wanted the time, I believe. So. But I like it how, I mean, this is in essence kind of fan fiction, but it's very fun fan fiction. How you're just integrating Laglor, you know, in there with
absolutely
with it, and just, you know, creating a whole other branch of Heroscape lore just right there. So,
I mean, unless
War has the most inefficient weapon of all time.
He needs help.
Very true. I mean, other than if Renegade, you know, produces any lore content that contradicts anything that happens in any of the VC lore, I'm going to consider it canon. Like, it's just... I know it's, like, technically not, but, like, in my head, I'm going to consider it because... I truly believe the people that are working behind all of VC, they know what they're doing. So it's
it's very well.
This is so cool.
Yeah, I really like this unit. I mean, there's a reason why I got the miniature. Eventually, I'll get the card for it. It just seems to go well. I've been needing a reason to get the Guerrillinators out there. This is one, and as Josiah's mentioning, it's another good reason to get the what's the other squad?
Guerrilla Troopers?
No. The
Nikitas?
Nikitas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, would be great too for that. So the mind's already going like, okay, how can I play this?
And the Nikitas add a lot of support to that army because they have that smoke counter and the engagement strike. Because Zaeus is pretty frail for 130 points. Like that 4 defense, 4 life, that's like, you know, what Agent Carr has. That's not taking you very far if you if you get picked off by strong ranged attacks or something heavy gets right next to you, you're gone in a turn or two. So having a little bit of versatility there is great to have as well.
Right. Well, that's why you got to have a Nikita agent adjacent to him. You'll have a Nikita agent out in the field protecting guerrilla naders, and then or at least the other two are helping other guerrilla naders just in different areas. Have them all adjacent so that when they get hit, their powders go off. You can't see anything. No one can be targeted. And Zaeus doesn't even have to be on the battlefield. He can stay as far as he wants. Range 7 is nothing to scoff at for his railgun. So that's pretty solid.
And he's got melee if he needs to, a little bit. So
no, for sure.
It's pretty solid. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
I've never played him, so I'll have to add him to my list of things to actually try.
Josiah, come, in a few months, you just might. So.
I might.
You just might. We'll see. But yeah, anything else we want to say about this measure? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, what it can do. I mean, with the bonding and everything, there's really not much you can do outside of it, unless someone wants to disagree with me and comment below either now or after this video is out and be like, actually, you can do it with this army, because I mean, with Heroscape, you never know where you can fit what unit in where, with whatever. So if someone's got a disagreement, be like, no, you can do that. Yeah, please let me know. I'd be willing to.
And telling us that adding Raylan to the army is not a good contribution.
No. That's not that. No, that.
Menace, pestilence.
One thing I do want to say, and this is not like Zaeus specific, but something I just realized is that having the Guerrillinator attack bonding power, having something like that on a card where it's specifically calling out a unit, a figure, a squad, a faction, whatever, is a really cool tool to kind of teach new players and be like, okay, here's my unit. What am I supposed to do with this? Oh, what's this power? What does this do? It's attached to these units? Okay, I could take these units. So they don't really have to think too hard about assembling an army. They're like, the card kind of dictates what you can do. Not that it has to be done, but it gives you that more of a focus of what you're supposed to do with this card, which I think is just something that after playing some 40K and BattleTech recently, none of those things are like, I mean, unless you take things faction specific, but other than that, it's like you could take whatever you want to, and it doesn't matter. But I don't know what's meta. I don't know what's good, But a card like this and having these powers on the cards is a really cool way to teach new players to kind of focus their direction in building an army that is really going to be effective on the battlefield.
Right, especially if
we
it's
haven't
a
even
specific
talked
army you like.
The Guerrilla Troopers, which is another VC unit, which I think we should reserve that discussion. But they add a whole new level of play style to Zaeus as well.
Yeah, and whenever we get to those, I'm sure that I'll be like, "Look what I just purchased!" On we get to those, but yeah, oh my goodness! Again, VC is a black. Once you get in, it's a black hole that you're never ever gonna get out of.
How accessible is this guy?
Huh? That's one thing. You find them in here. Actually, that might be one thing for people looking for them. Of course, you can always through DiceSpare or the 3D printers, you could get a 3D print of it. But as far as the original unit, like I got here in the mail just a few days ago. This is, here it is, descriptions. Figures used for this unit is an AT-43 figure from the promo set. Its model number and name is Guy Darius. Easy to look up on eBay, and there are some eBay opportunities out there for this particular unit if you do want to check it out. So yeah, there is an opportunity for that. It is a bit pricey. It's about the cost of a renegade box. Not gonna lie. But if it piques your interest, then definitely check it out for sure.
Yeah, I'm seeing one right now that's $33.
Yep.
So
Yep.
if you want to go that route, but it probably would cost around the same or a little bit less if you're getting it 3D printed and then also painted.
And painted, yep.
So consider that as well if you want to go original or 3D print.
Yep. And so with that, as long as nobody else has anything to say about it, we will end it. Taking a look at and if you want to, you can end it, Josiah, because you started it. So go ahead.
So that's our ape. It's not a monkey because it doesn't have a tail.
Was that a debate? Was that?
No, it's a VeggieTales song. So
yeah, I don't see a tail.
But yeah, it's a fun unit. I have one 3D printed here, and yeah, definitely. There's lots of versatility with them, so I like units with choices each turn. So definitely check them out.
For sure, yeah. Consider it for your Heroscape collection.